You have finished the speeding up exercises, scales, arpeggios, octaves, and chords. And I assume you were playing them that fast for the first time in your life, and that was quite an experience for you. So I can see that you were excited to share your feedback on that.
Well, first I can say that it was really hard. In the book is written that it requires 8 hours to master all the 4 exercises. For me, it took almost a month, and of course, this really rough timing because I skip a couple of days because of some. Okay, so it was hard, and the reason why it was hard, because when you have never actually played really fast with ease, your mind does not believe that you are able to do this. And the first thing is to allow yourself to believe that this is possible. I remember I've also had difficulties with, when you have to stretch. So when you practice by 1 sentences, by 2 sentences, but when you have to practice for whole routine, for example, you need to, while you play the first sentence, you already need to be prepared to the next sentence. You play and you already need to be ready for playing the next. And ideal situation is when you feel like a boss, like I said, so you felt very self-confident, relaxed, and the whole routine is grasped in your mind like a capsule, like...
That's exactly what it is. That's what I'm saying. With repetitions, everything just becomes like this in your mind. And you just see it as a small dot, and you have full control over it, and it's not overwhelming, it's not eating you, It's like you're just looking at it and you got it. And this is what I called I am ready. When it becomes just like a small dot, yeah.
And I experienced the situation of fear, because when you switch your sensations, the first sensation, the first feeling is like everything goes out of control, and sound of piano start to be distracting. So your hands are able to play. You play fast. They do great, but you do nothing, and that scares. And this point you stop. So that's what I'm talking about when I say that my psyche was not ready for it to play. When I think I'm able. I play. They play. My hands play, but my conscious is not allow it to do. And I do the work with myself, with my mind, to relax and to allow it to be. And let me be clear. I'm not saying that you just have to relax and don't do anything. It will do like some magic by magic. Consider that previous you do all the work, you analyze everything, you play slower and you gradually, but really must after all that steps to play fast, you need to switch your focus and train to play passively, maybe. And for me, this a new level of mastery.
what we train with the whole system eventually is to have calmness in our mind. When do we have calmness? When everything is in order and we know and we're ready and we can control everything. And this is what you refer as a dot, like this. When you play from that state, playing piano is easy. That's how you feel it, and that's how it comes out. Moreover, you will feel it, and that's why I always say that true virtuosity comes from mind. You know, when people say, oh, he's genius, virtuoso, not because he has bigger hands, but because he thinks on a little bit different level. He operates in a little bit different dimension where the thoughts are maybe constructed and created in a little bit different and more efficient way. He thinks a bit different. So with my system, I actually teach how to achieve that. You don't need to be genius anymore to be a virtuoso. And this is very good. So that's why I always say playing fast it's all about thinking fast. And what was happening with you a few times is that your mind was a little bit behind your hands at sometimes. I think it was flickering. Sometimes you would achieve where your physical things are contained within your mind, and that feels safe. But the next time you repeat and you're out, your mind is boom, like a bubble, pops up, and then again it's just physical, and then you stop because it's not controlled with your mind anymore. Your mind is not ready, like you said, for the next block before you play it. And I can tell you even more. When we're going to actually play the piece and perform it, that step when we were talking about true voice, when you detach even more, and then right before playing you actually completely surrender and you say, let's see what's going to come through, to really even dissolve yourself and take yourself out of any responsibility of your playing, but still control some general things, what you said. Like choosing the right timing, self-confidence and posture, know where you are in the structure of music. These are the most important part. And then you just allow the muse to come through and to create through you. This is where you feel even more calm and actually more even exalted because it's such a beautiful experience.
Because when you play fast, you need to delegate your trust to your body and focus on not even sound imagination. In my experience, I focused on the sensation of self-confidence. Was like relaxed pose. I felt like I am a boss here, I'm relaxed, and I allow my hands to play and control only by like subtle changes in my sensations. And the situation when you can push the limits of the speed is when you not try hard, but rather you try to release excessive tension and be more relaxed. And when you feel this comfortable, relaxed, you find the ways how to improve the speed, how to find rational movements and make them and make playing exercise pleasurable. This is a really great experience because I was aimed to be not scared of playing fast, but to be in a state of I played with pleasure.
Interesting thing what you said about the the importance of, yes, first you analyze everything, you find the most efficient movements of the wrist and elbow that are in line with the music that you mentally practice in your mind, with the correct texture of the sound, correct volume, and even harmony. Then organize it into blocks of phrasing where you distribute and gradate the energy and arm weight. And then you also go to the learning stage where you consistently repeating and speeding up. This is all important, but then, like I said, every stage has its time. And when you know that you have finished analyzing form, that you are learning now, you cannot think about so much about sound imagination. It's a different zone now. You need to, now your priority is to focus, like you said, on the more general and bigger things, like timing, form, self-confidence, posture, which I a little bit feel like more above, in the pyramid, if you can imagine. So that's also very important. That's what you also train to focus on the bigger ideas. Because again, when you focus on bigger ideas, again, you create that kind of bubble from which you can control and look everything kind of beneath you, and everything is nicely in order, where versus when you are still thinking about the harmony or voicing, you just lose yourself, into the vast of this ocean of everything. So yeah, that was a good observation about that.
Also, the struggle I have faced is repetition. So every time when I repeat, for example, I have a nice try. I had a very great run. I solved the task. I did the job. But now I want to repeat the result. And after that, usually is worse. So I was angry a little bit because my need was not fulfilled of this repetitive stability. Like, I do this great, and then I want to repeat my result. And still I don't have this, I feel that in me this is fragile, but I think that this is an illusion to think that you can learn it by heart, because every day a little different situation, a little different sensation, and every day you need to prepare yourself and be ready to solve the problem, the task. So each repetition, this is a new problem, new task, so you need to prepare it like you're playing it the first time. Don't think about that you repeat it, play it like you play it the first time.
There will be different stages. So first you will, and this is again, it's like a map of progress in your repetition, how you will feel. So you start discomfort, tension. Then the next time you repeat, maybe freedom appearing in random short sections of the piece. Then next time you play, you feel maybe large sections are played with more ease, while equally great sections remain tense. Then next time you play, you're losing focus due to some distractions, external as well as internal. Basically, you lose it all. Like this is what you were describing. The next time you play, you feel 80% of the pieces played with ease and freedom. The next time you play, you feel inability to focus, losing everything that was previously achieved. Next time you play, you feel tired and discouraged. And towards the last times you play, you feel inspired and maybe you gave one of your best performances, but equally you might just take a break and start another round the next day because you feel just everything you're done. You cannot progress anymore. With repetitions, it's never just like a crescendo building from piano to forte. It also has its frequencies inside, like life. And I think I heard so many times from pianists who say when we try to record something, our first times are always the best, and then it just goes decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. For me, I would say when I have to repeat the piece maybe 10 times, my best times is always around third or fifth time, and then it's actually decreasing. But you still need to repeat. That's important, no matter how you feel. The repetition, no matter how you feel. And so many times, many of us just give up as soon as we feel something is not going right, and we just feel we're afraid, okay, so we're gonna stop because we're probably doing a mistake. It could be the case, but not with our teaching here, because you know that you're not making any mistakes. You know that everything was organized, your movements are thoughtful, your mind is focused, you know exactly what to do. This is a different situation. So when you feel a bit discouraged, it's important that you finish your repetitions. And then the next day, you might feel a great leap in the progress when you start. So that's important to keep in mind.
I can say that for me the most fun to play was scales and octaves. The easiest was arpeggios, and unexpectedly the most nervous was chords. The thing that was making me a little angry with chords is large leaps. When I played with I constantly missed the note. I tried to play with musical speech. It helped, but when I repeated again, this was distracted again, and I need to repeat with musical speech again and again and again. So, and the side effect of why I was nervous with chords is because it was the last exercise, and I was I've already done the complex of exercises, but yeah, this is not a good mindset. I remember in one movie I saw, it's about a guy who do the walk between the twin towers, yes, and guy who walks on string between them. Philippe Petit, his name, and there was a film about him, and there was a story how he learned to walk on that string, and his teacher told him that the most common mistake is when you are already when you almost on the other side. You must not relax, you must not lose your control, so you need to stay calm till the end. So yeah, I've done that mistake and I fall with chords. With octaves, I watched a video with your commentaries. The problem with thumbs, that you have to sink them a little further into the keyboard and sit higher. Yes, when you sit higher, you can really put your hands like this, and that you provide your thumb to sink deeper into the keyboard. And yeah, this really helped. I was thinking, like, what is the purpose of that circle note in octaves? What is the purpose? Because everything is so constrained when you play octaves. Your elbows are pretty solid when you play. So when your palm is open and when you hold the octave, even though sometimes you release, so your elbow are not able to move that free. For example, as maybe in arpeggios. But when it comes to faster tempos, that's where you find these benefits of the circle notes, because in those places they are like places when they give you a little impulse, a little windy, little elastic impulse, and you feel like they little push you forward, and in those places you find the points to relax tension, to release tension. You know, we're now pianists. We practice on digital pianos, and for those who practice on digital pianos, I really suggest to practice with headphones. Because when I started practice without headphones, I felt like, oh, I'm pretty cool. I do this great. This sounds nice. But when I decided to play with headphones, I found so many uncanny feeling of, oh, that's why I was not I'm not so. This is unpleasant truth of your playing the headphones. So playing with headphones helps to clear your ears and maintain the light touch, and so this is very beneficial for playing with headphones. And one more thing, the idea to group the notes by 7, not by 4 and 8, it is a great idea, because somehow it allows you to play really fast, because you have really regular patterns, and you don't lose too much energy to computate in your mind where is the accent points. And when the accent points is still on the same places in all octaves, it gives you more freedom to be
more at ease in your mind. But also the reason I've done it, because that way I could group them also evenly into phrases and sentences. So, every sentence would have 2 phrases, every phrase would have 2 motifs. So that makes it very clear in your mind. It's almost like a nice box that you fit everything in. And that also serves as an impulse, gives this inertia to just go on.
And for those who are studying in colleges, please consider to learn scales, grouping them by 7th. Nobody do this. Nobody do this. Nobody does it. Nobody does it. And anyway, when you play fast, nobody even notice. Nobody will even notice, because when I watch your video, when you play scales, grouping by 7th, when I first watch it, my mind was looking on it like if you play not grouping by 7 but by 8. So I felt it. That's the way we get used to hear.
So you were probably playing all those exercises before in your life, right? Okay. Okay. But you never practice them with the PianoWell system, right? Did you feel any difference with practicing them this time with these more organized steps?
Yes, this is really fun, because the whole my life I was hating scales. But when with this clear instructions, clear steps, it feels safe. It feels like you don't have to do anything. So thank you very much for this pillow of instruction. This really helped to practice with love, as in our first lesson, with pianist hygiene. Yes, when you come to a piano, you need to be in good state of mind and feel good. Yes, and of course that was different. Anyway, I still have struggles and problems, and sometimes I get angry as well because it didn't work out. As you said, I had good repetition, but the next repetition I have really everything goes apart. The mindset and preparation. Maybe you need to play less, not to play too many times. If you play 2 or 3 times and everything goes not good, you need to stop maybe to think. And I remember that most of the best tries where I was tuning myself for a long time. I'm sitting quiet. I'm playing in my mind. I feel everything in my mind. And after that, immediately I start playing, and that was good.
This is very good that you mention it. We cannot emphasize it enough, because you cannot go into, okay, I prepared myself fully and now I play. Oh, it went so well, and now on that excitement, I'm just gonna repeat and repeat and repeat. No, you're just gonna go just like this. So before each repetition, you need to stop, you need to prepare your mind again and again. Because this whole repetition is not just to practice to focus on your movement. It's to practice to focus faster and faster, easier and easier on your mind preparation towards what you're gonna say. Because in the beginning, like you said, it took you so much time in the first 2 sentences, because also you were overwhelmed. You had to focus on so many things. And sometimes it even takes so much time to focus on just even one element. Okay, focus on it, come back to it. How does beginning feels like? How does development feels like? How does self-confidence feels like? It might take you some time to just focus even on one element, where, here you just need to do it in 3 seconds. So you focus on the preparation also before practicing. And that's very important. What I wanted to ask you about your experience with orange juice, because it took me some time to convince you to start using it. No one takes it seriously. What was the change?
When you convinced me to use orange juice, I found out that you was doing it not just for laugh. you told me that.
It was not a joke. No.
Yes, it was not a joke. That was for purpose. Because when I played with, the reason why why I was a little skeptical about orange juice, not skeptical, but because that sensation, I thought, sticky fingers, maybe that's not pleasant to touch my keys, they would be sticky. but the reality comes not so bad, because with the keys everything is all right. They are not so sticky, but my fingers really start clinging easily, and I allow myself to relax my shoulders, relax my elbows, and my fingers, and that worked. That this Yes, yes, this feels better, but maybe as well it works like a placebo. I don't know, but because when I tried placebo, yes, when I try to okay, it does not come out without orange juice. Now I use orange juice, and I even eat orange. Okay, and now it will. And yes, so there's a psychological effect. Maybe this also work. And I suggest everyone should try it. I will try it when I get back to my study in spring. I will try in concert. I will try it. We will see. So yes, this works. Thank you for convincing me. Thank you for your patience. And
sometimes it took me actually months to convince my other students. They say yes, yes, but they never do. And I really think that no one takes it seriously because no one talks about it. And since no one talks about it, there is no, it's like you believe in something when you heard about that before. And if you never heard, it's like the first time you're quite skeptical about it. I have this. It's a spray bottle. And so I put the juice, but also making sure, I don't know if you experience, but you really don't want to have like the meat of the juice stuck into your finger and then seeing on your keyboard. It's super destructive, like seeing a hair on the keyboard and then you just paralyze until you, well, this is a little bit of OCD for me, but I know many pianists have the same. The keyboard has to be clean. So this just ensure, and I have it in the fridge, and then I just, spray it, and that's it, done. It looks quite nice, and you make it prepared, and it lasts for like 2 weeks. So you can, you can arrange it. Well, I used this in 3 days, it was full. So this is a quite a civilized and more maybe appetizing way of having orange juice instead of cutting it. It makes the polished keys feels less slippery, and it makes the contact between my skin, between my moisturized skin, then I'm applying this and I'm touching with this little bit sticky fingers. I'm touching non-sticky keys, non-slippery. They're not too sticky, they're just not slippery. That's what it does, orange juice on the keys. And this creates just a perfect grip on each finger. So when I touch the key, I never have to apply additional effort to stay on the key. It's just like I touch the key and I shik, my every finger just in place. It's amazing feeling, no discomfort, creates, I don't know, again, it's not a joke. I can't emphasize how this small tip important.
When you describe it, I can really feel it, like you describe it. Yes.
Yeah,
and then this is also important because when you play with sound imagination, with sound texture, you don't distract it to be slippery on the keyboards. You maintain the image and concentrate on it.
Exactly. The salt water.
I don't know. Is this a real case of me drinking this salted water or something else? But after the next day, when I practiced, and the couple days after, I felt this pleasant sensation like when your palms are warm, you feel this sensation of you did a nice job, you've done nice work, that's great. That's a satisfaction of your training. Yeah, I remember my wife said to me, why you drinking salted water? Because she said that salt is keeping water in the body, so it keeps, yeah.
Yeah, but this is really not to have a dry skin. You moisturize your skin inside out, because it's gonna be, instead of like it's like playing instead of dry raisin with a nice like pumped or raisin that you put into water, and it's all kind of like nice and good. But yeah, like more energetic in your fingers. I definitely drink lots of water before my performance, a day or two. I really want to make sure that I do everything possible to guarantee to some level that everything will feel safe. So even if you don't feel motivated to do it, that's the thing. You are not really motivated to do those many things when you just practice for yourself. But as soon as you have a fear of going to and perform somewhere, whether it's going to your teacher class or your exam, you will want to make sure that you have every possible tool to create this, safe cushion. You will drink water, you will do orange juice, you'll do everything,
Yeah, as I said, that this is like a rituals. So it's also works like a placebo. It helps you to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's very superstitious. It's not like one of those where, I don't know if you heard about it. It was a lot, don't drop the score on the floor. And if you drop, sit on it. I mean, in same shot, like in our musical school, everyone was doing it. Like you can see like random people sitting on the score on the floor before their exam. It's because they accidentally dropped the piece, the page on the floor. Yeah. I don't believe it and I don't do it. Or if I do it, I pick it up like within 5 seconds, because I tell myself, well, if something is on the floor for, less than 5 seconds, it's still okay. It's like with food, Yeah, right? The rule of 5 seconds. So if it's like within 5 seconds, it's still okay. I don't believe that, But still, 5 seconds in the back of my mind. I don't think it's that level superstitious, because it does work. It does work. And
yes,
yeah,
of course.
it does work.